Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Call Haloyim La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakah Kodash. For blessed our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 28, and verse 3. It says, Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Right? Now, we understand that, Malak Dawadah, or King David, was not really at odds with King Saul. King Saul was more so at odds with King David, and King Saul had followers, and those followers, were after King David. So a lot of times when you're going into the book of Psalms and you're reading, David speak about the wicked coming against him. That's what we're speaking about. But Scripture is a two-edged sword, and King David was a prophet. And Scripture also goes into the wicked, who is Esau Edom. So we're going to apply this particular precept to Esau Edom, right? And we don't want to, be in the hands of the wicked or the workers of iniquity. These devils definitely speak peace one amongst another. But the devil don't give a damn about his own. He don't give a damn about his own folk and his own people, right? This devil has poisoned the air, the water, the food, the same food that his own people eats. So clearly, the wicked could care less about their own people, with the exception of the individuals that are in their blue bloodline, right? That's what they call themselves, the blue bloods, right? Which are basically a bunch of ancestral demons. And they do that to, claim that they keep the blood pure, right? The individuals that you don't see, the individuals that really run this earth, that's how they get down, right? And they speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their minds. In the back of their head, they really are trying to destroy, right? And like I said, they don't really give a damn about innocent bystanders. So what you see is, a photo of pollution, basically. The toxic air that we breathe, right? And the topic that I'm going into today is, I'm going back into the chemtrails, right? And I want to say they don't call them chemtrails, they call them something else. But they denied the existence of chemtrails for so long, and up until now, right? And so I recently posted a video epistle of what I'm speaking on, but I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth with it in this one. So the reason why I'm bringing this out is because of a few videos that I saw. So with that being said, I'm gonna let these videos play and I'll be back.
Turns out all the crazy cranks and conspiracy theorists who were concerned about chemtrails and weather modification, well, you might have been proven right after all. I've just come out the most extraordinary 2-hour congressional hearing here at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. on that very, very topic. Experts all agreeing weather modification, cloud seeding, chemtrails, it's real. Here's what happened.
For years, anybody who questioned weather modification was labeled crazy or a conspiracy theorist. Now we've learned that they've been doing it for decades. One geoengineering company called Make Sunsets injects aerosol into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight back into space. I want to show you their frequently asked questions. Why? It says, unless we reflect sunlight, tens of millions of people will die, and 20% of species may go extinct. These climate activists have come so far that they are actively trying to inject chemicals into the air to block the rays of the sun from hitting the earth. And they want to take away our God-given rights over the earth in order.
Now, well, I'm trying to word this correctly. What nation of people on the earth did the Lord create that is harmed more by the sun than any other nation of people? Right? Okay.
To satisfy their godless climate cult beliefs. Potentially cooling the earth could also cause people to freeze to death, crops to die, and could literally lead to killing millions and millions of people.
My written testimony goes into detail explaining my decision to join more than 500 other scientists and academics from around the world to call for a solar engineering non-use agreement. Second, our 70-year history with weather modification should give us some humility in thinking that we can understand what the consequences might be. We've been trying to modify the weather for 70 years, and we don't know if we're modifying the weather. And finally, we have one Earth, and experimenting on it carries considerable risks.
One earth, and they experiment with the earth. That's the disrespect that the devil has for what the Lord allowed them to have control over. Right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And so it just goes to show you that they are indeed the wicked. The very planet that they live on, they destroy. I say from the air to the food to the water. Right? And we're not even going to go into so-called medication and so forth and so on. Right? But that's who's in control. But there are more videos. So y'all hold up.
We did some testing, and so yesterday I'm seeing these chemtrails, and today I'm in my sauna sweating, and I want to tell everyone why. The first test that we did, Pastor, was we went and we sweated, and I sweated for a bunch of days, but I sweated and collected the sweat samples and then an engineer and sent them off to the lab and said, what's coming out when there's no chemtrails? And what we found really corroborates Dane Wigington's great work at Geoengineering Watch and also Mike Adams, Health Ranger's great work on the sky fallout. We corroborated that what's coming out of us are aluminum, barium, and strontium.
Now, in the first video, you saw, well, whoever that individual was at that hearing, he said they've been trying to modify weather for 70 years and haven't been able to. So, we also understand the devil works in this way. They may set out in one experiment, and if that experiment is not particularly getting the results that they want, they'll work that experiment on the other side to see, well, okay, what effects does it have on, this other thing that's in the environment of this experiment? So if the weather modification, which is basically cloud seeding, is not doing what you want it to do, how you want it to be done, right? So, the purpose of it was to blot out a portion of the sun so that the sun wouldn't, I would imagine, give so much skin cancer out to individuals who can't handle the sun, right? So if it ain't working that way and it's going up into the clouds, what goes up must come down. So it's going on the people, right? Whatever they're putting in them clouds, it's coming on the people. And that's exactly what he is saying. Whatever they putting up, it has come down. And it's on the people. And he just gave the elements that is on the people.
This is where it gets really exciting. The aluminum is far and away the largest short-circuiting heavy metal that we are being exposed to in these chemtrails. So with
aluminum is the heaviest. short-circuiting element found. All right.
No chemtrails. The amount that came out in my sweat, Pastor, was 281 nanograms per gram. Now that's more than triple any other metal coming out. So we know that where that's still coming in from every time there is a chemtrail, and maybe I didn't sweat before that, it showed up. And now check this number out. 281 is the number, 281. Now, the day after a chemtrail, same experiment, just same sample size, everything. We collected the sweat again, 2,958 nanograms per gram. We went from 281 to 2,958 nanograms overnight, just with chemtrail days. So the first message we have to get out to everyone who loves God, we have to get this out, is that...
All right. So aluminum is the key element in these chemtrails, right? So I went to Google and I asked Google something, right? Hold up. So I asked Google, is aluminum a good conductor, right, for frequencies? It says yes. Aluminum is a good electrical conductor, even for frequencies, AC, RF, but it's less conductive than copper, right? About 61%, and its performance varies. It's great for lightweight, cost-effective power lines, so forth and so on. Ultimately, yes, aluminum is a good electrical conductor. Let me see. Summary: aluminum is a very good conductor, especially for its weight, but its suitability for specific frequencies depends on the application, right? Going into wires and so forth and so on, right? But nevertheless, he got his blood, or not his blood, his sweat. He got his sweat analyzed, and the amount of aluminum that was in his sweat rose after, the lines that you see. All you gotta do is walk out tomorrow, right? When you walk out of your home, look up and look at the lines, right, that are in the sky. They're not clouds. They're left by planes, right? Look up. So I saw another video, and it kind of put the puzzle together, right? So you got Esau Edom that's experimenting with the weather mod. They said it wasn't really going how they wanted it to go. So it's coming down on people. We already know, our people are coming down, how people are coming down with more diseases now, more so than ever, right? On top of the food that we eat that's being covered by the same stuff that's being put in the clouds. The animals that eat the stuff that's in the clouds, that drink the stuff that's in the clouds, and we do the same thing, right? I saw another video. Let me show you this.
Every camera you walk past that is integrated with AI systems increasingly can decode mental states. There's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. People believing that they've been at Disney World with characters who are not Disney characters, taking photographs with those characters. Those products are hitting the market this year. What they will be capable of doing is very high-level brain state reading. Things like, are you tired? Are you paying attention? Is your mind wandering? Are you happy or sad? One of the emerging areas that's really interesting in law neuroscience is pain detection. And once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain?
That's crazy. The circuitries that cause pain, right? Not so they want to be able to just cause pain, like at the push of a button type deal. The devil, man.
And use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well. We can pick up and decode faces that you're seeing in your mind.
They can see what you see in your mind. How are they able to do that?
Simple shapes, numbers, your PIN number to your bank account.
Every camera.
Yeah, so Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 8. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person or a mischievous person. Right? The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. Right? The devil who accused us before the Lord day and night, man. This devil is coming up with all kind. When I tell you we dealing with a real life mad scientist, that time we spent in chains, this devil did all kind of experimenting on us, man. I'm talking about all kinds of experiments. I'm talking about like we wide awake, no numbing medicine or none of that. Man, cutting our backs open and, pulling strings, pulling nerves to see what's what. Cutting our brains, cutting our skull open and tampering with our brains to see what's what. We dealing with a real life mad scientist. Scripture says there's no new thing under the sun. So if this is the same individual that was then, it's the same individual that's now. It's just on a whole nother level, man. It's on a whole nother level. And how the Lord is telling us that this devil's whole plan is to merge man with machine. These are the steps that's being taken to make it come forth. All right? It's deeper than just, the only thing they're going to do is put a chip inside of you. Nah. It's steps leading. That's the final, that's the boss, right? The last one, the last hurdle that we got to get over, right? It's steps leading up to that. And this is one of them, right? The food we eat is another, right? The so-called medical system is another. The educational system is another. It's all of it is the part of the same beast, same monster, same devil, same demon. Right? The thought of foolishness is sin. Who's to say? Right? Scripture tells us that this devil would try to place himself as the Most High. Who's to say that the thoughts that enter into your head are not activated by whatever this mad scientist has in your area? I use this example all the time. You could take a television. You can go buy a TV. No cable hooked up to it or nothing. You can go buy a television. You can plug in an antenna in the back of that television and it'll pick up signals. And those signals will show you a screen that'll show you, whatever it is that's being pulled down into this television. So it's in the air. So who's to say that the thoughts that enter into your mind, this devil is not perpetrating that, trying to be the Most High? Right? We dealing with a real live mad scientist, man. Let me see. Psalms 21 and verse 8. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Right? In the NLT, in the NLT it reads, you will capture all your enemies. Your strong right hand will seize all who hate you. Who is Yahweh's strong right hand? Who sits on the right hand of the Lord? That's what we waiting on. This devil is trying to, bring about his dystopian future where, basically artificial intelligence and technology reign supreme. But the Lord is saying, nah, you gonna get so far with that, man. The Lord is gonna allow you to get so far with your wicked devices. And then destruction comes. All right? Verse 11. For they intended evil against thee, they imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. Right? In the NLT it reads, although they plot against you, Their evil schemes will never succeed. So I am with that, man. Yahweh Shem Shai Ratazah. These precepts in this video were edifying. Call Haloyim La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, Shalom Yashala.